Dear students, today we will start in paper sequence and series the second unit, chapter name as sequences. In this chapter we shall study those functions whose domain is the set of natural numbers and codomain is the set of reals. That is, we have function f such that from x to y. In the function whose domain is set of natural numbers and codomain is set of reals. That is, such that set of natural number and codomain is set of reals. Making definition for sequence, a sequence is a function whose domain is the set of natural numbers and range can be any set. A sequence whose range is the subset of set of real numbers R is called a real sequence. In this chapter, we shall deal with real sequences only. Therefore, we shall use the term sequence instead of real sequence. Now, representation of a sequence. A sequence is a special function whose domain is always a set of natural numbers. In calculus, functions are usually denoted by letters f, g, h, but in case of sequence, the function is denoted by any one of the letters a, b, u, v, x, y, etc. Hence, a sequence is a function a such that n to r and image of n belongs to n is denoted by an instead of an. This image of 1 is a1, image of 2 is a2, image of 3 is a3, and so on. Generally, a sequence is denoted by an and its successive terms by a1, a2, a3, and so on, an, and so on. We have different methods to describe a sequence. A sequence can be described in several different ways. First method, we list first few terms of the sequence like that one. We list first few terms of the sequence in order till the rule for writing down different terms becomes evident. For example, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25 is a sequence whose nth term is n square. Another method of writing a sequence is to give a formula for its nth term. For example, a sequence an equal to n square, then the sequence an is defined as 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. In this method, we are writing only nth terms. Now the third one, another convenient method to describe a sequence is to write first few terms and then give a rule for obtaining the other terms using the preceding terms. For example, let a1 equal to 1, an plus 1 is equal to 3 times of an, and this is for all n greater than equal to 1. Here a1 is equal to 1 given, and when we put n equal to 1, 2, 3, so on into this relation, then a2 becomes 3, a3 becomes 9, a4 becomes 27. The sequence therefore becomes 1, 3, 9, 27. Now making another illustrations by examples. If we take an equal to n factorial, then the sequence defined is 1, 2, 6, 24, 120, so on. Similarly, in second one, an equal to 1 by n, then sequence defined here n is denoting by a natural number n belongs to set of natural number, then the sequence defined is 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4. In place of n we are putting natural numbers. If an equal to 1 by 2 n minus 1, then the sequence defined is 1, 1 by 3, 1 by 5, 1 by 7, so on. Sometimes we can describe a sequence by using more than one relation. For example, a to n minus 1 is given by 2n minus 1 when n belongs to n, and a to n is given by 2 raised to power n belongs to n. Then the sequence becomes 1, 2 raised to power 1, 3, 2 raised to power 2, 5, 2 raised to power 3, so on. Now the next definition is for range of a sequence. The set of all distinct terms of a sequence an is called the range of the sequence. Symbolically, the set an such that n belongs to n is called the range of the sequence an. For example, if we have the sequence an is equal to minus 1 raised to power n, then the range set of the sequence is minus 1 to 1, minus 1 and 1, that is set having different elements. Sequence range of a sequence is this set which contains different elements. Here the sequence is described as an is equal to minus 1, 1, minus 1, 1, minus 1, 1, so on. The terms of sequence occurring at different positions are treated as distinct terms even if they have the same value. Thus the number of terms of the sequence are infinite, but the range set is a finite set containing only two elements, 1 or minus 1. Making note, a sequence an always has an infinite number of terms, but the range set of a sequence may have a finite number of elements. Note second, two sequences an and bn are equal if and only if an is equal to bn for all n. To differentiate between a sequence and its range set, we use this symbol to denote a sequence, and this is to describe a range set. Now next definition for constant sequence. A sequence an defined by an is equal to c for all n belongs to n is called a constant sequence. That is, for every term's value is constant, therefore it is called constant sequence. It is an infinite sequence, but its range is a finite set, which is a singleton set C. Now next definition for bounded and unbounded sequences. First definition for bounded above sequence. A sequence an is said to be bounded above if there exists a real number k. K is large, much large, such that an is less than equal to k for all n belongs to n. That is, the range of the sequence is bounded above. Here k is called the upper bound of sequence an. Next definition for bounded below sequence. A sequence an is said to be bounded below if there exists a real number k such that k is less than equal to an for all n belongs to n. It means every term is greater than or may be equal to that number. The range of the sequence is bounded below. Here k is called lower bound of the sequence an. Now the next definition for bounded sequence. A sequence an is said to be bounded if there exists real number k and k such that every term of the sequence is between those numbers small k and capital K for all n belongs to n. That is, the range of the sequence is bounded. Fourth definition, unbounded above sequence. A sequence an is said to be unbounded above if for every real number k, however large it may be, there exists m belongs to n such that am becomes greater than that k. Sequence is said to be unbounded above. Fifth definition, unbounded below sequence. A sequence an is said to be unbounded below if for every real number k, however small it may be, there exists p belongs to n such that at that place p, ap becomes less than k. Number sixth, unbounded sequence. A sequence an is said to be unbounded if either it is unbounded above or unbounded below or both. Now making illustrations for these definitions. The sequence n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 is bounded below but not above. 1 is lower bound of this sequence. Second, the sequence minus n, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, is bounded above but not below. Minus 1 is the upper bound of this sequence. The sequence 1 by n equal to 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3. This is bounded sequence and 0 and 1 are the lower and upper bounds respectively. The sequence minus 1 की power n into n, terms going on minus 1, 2, minus 3, 4, minus 5, so on, is an unbounded sequence. Now the next definition for least upper bound of a sequence. A real number u is called the least upper bound of the sequence an if an is less than equal to u for all n. And the second condition is for each epsilon greater than 0 there exists some positive integer m such that am becomes greater than u minus epsilon. Next definition for greatest lower bound of a sequence. A real number L is called the greatest lower bound of sequence an if first condition is an is greater than equal to L for all n. Second, for each epsilon greater than 0 there exists some positive integer m such that am becomes less than by L plus epsilon. Now next definition for convergent sequence. A sequence an is said to converge to a real number L if for any given epsilon greater than 0, however small it may be, there exists a positive integer m depending upon epsilon such that an minus L absolute value becomes less than epsilon for all n greater than equal to m. The real number L is called limit of the sequence. The real number L is called limit of the sequence an. In such a case we write also, that is in this way we can write limit of an when n tends to infinity equal to L, or an tends to L as n tends to infinity, or simply by an tends to L. If the limit of a sequence exists, then the sequence is called convergent sequence. Otherwise it is called oscillatory or divergent sequence. For example, the sequence 1 by 2n minus 1 is convergent and the sequence 2n is not convergent. For any convergent sequence, the limit is always unique. Making explanation, according to definition, sequence an is convergent to L if for each epsilon greater than 0, the difference between each term of the sequence and L is less than epsilon after leaving first m minus 1 terms of the sequence. Also an minus L absolute value less than epsilon for all n greater than equal to m can be written as an minus L is between minus epsilon to epsilon for all n greater than equal to m, or we can say an is between L minus epsilon to L plus epsilon for all n greater than equal to m. This shows that first m minus 1 terms of the sequence lie outside the interval L minus epsilon to L plus epsilon, and all other terms of the sequence lie in the interval L minus epsilon to L plus epsilon. Thus, except first few finite terms, all other terms of the sequence are close to L. In this case, we say sequence is convergent to L, as L minus epsilon to L plus epsilon, where epsilon is greater than 0, is an arbitrary neighborhood of L. Therefore, if a sequence an converges to L, then all except a few terms of the sequence lie in every neighborhood of L. The number m minus 1 of the terms left out from the interval L minus epsilon to L plus epsilon depends upon the size of epsilon. The smaller the size of epsilon, larger will be the number of terms outside the interval L minus epsilon to L plus epsilon. Consider a sequence an is equal to 1 by n, an having terms like 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, so on. If epsilon is 1 by 50, then the first 50 terms of the sequence lie outside the interval 0 minus 1 by 50 to 0 plus 1 by 50, and all other terms lie in this interval. If epsilon is 1 by 60, then the first 60 terms of the sequence lie outside the interval 0 minus 1 by 60 to 0 plus 1 by 60, and all other infinite number of terms of the sequence lie in the interval. Similarly, if we take epsilon as 1 by 100, then the first 100 terms of the sequence lie outside the interval 0 minus 1 by 100 to 0 plus 1 by 100, and all other infinite terms of the sequence lie in this interval as shown in the curve. That is minus 1 by 100 here and 1 by 100. First 1 by 100 terms, that is these are outside, all these terms are outside. This shows that the sequence an converges to 0, that is 0. Some theorems on convergent sequences prove that every convergent sequence converges to a unique limit, or restate a sequence cannot converge to more than one limit. For the proof, suppose that convergent sequence an converges to two distinct real numbers L and L dash. Let epsilon is greater than 0 be given real number. Since an converges to L, therefore using the definition of convergence here, therefore there exists a positive integer m1 such that this definition holds an minus L absolute value is less than epsilon by 2 for all n greater than equal to m1, marking this as number 1. Since an is also convergent to L dash, therefore using again here definition for convergent, since an converges to L dash, therefore there exists a positive integer m2 such that an minus L dash absolute value will be less than epsilon by 2 for all n greater than equal to m2, marking this as number 2. If we suppose that we have m which is maximum of m1 and m2, and using first and second we have an minus L absolute value will be less than epsilon by 2, an minus L dash mod value less than epsilon by 2 for all n greater than equal to m. That is, first and second also holds for this m, therefore marking this as number 3. Now if we consider the term L minus L dash absolute value, we are able to write down this as L minus an plus an minus L dash, and using the identity here, L minus an absolute value plus an minus L dash absolute value will be greater than equal to, which can be written as an minus L plus an minus L dash, and this becomes, that is, this value is less than by epsilon by 2 and this is less than epsilon, total value will be less than epsilon. Therefore L minus L dash mod value becomes less than epsilon. If we take epsilon is equal to L minus L dash ka mod value upon 3, then by fourth becomes L minus L dash ka mod less than L minus L dash mod by 3, which is a contradiction. Hence, our supposition is wrong. Therefore, this shows that the convergent sequence an converges to a unique limit. Note, due to above theorem, we generally use the term the limit instead of a limit. Now, the next result, prove that every convergent sequence is bounded but not conversely. For the proof, let an be a sequence which is convergent to L. We shall show that an is a bounded sequence. Let epsilon greater than 0 be given any number. Since an is convergent to L, therefore, using definition here, there exists a positive integer m such that an minus L mod value will be less than epsilon for all n greater than equal to m. And this implies, that is, every term of the sequence lie between L minus epsilon to L plus epsilon for all n greater than equal to m, marking this as number 1. Let t is equal to minimum of a1, a2, am minus 1 and L minus epsilon, and capital T is assuming equal to maximum of a1, a2, am minus 1 and L plus 1. This implies that every term of the sequence becomes between small t and capital T. That is, we can say that here small t and capital T exist, for which every term of the sequence becomes between that small t and capital T. Therefore, sequence becomes bounded. But the converse is not true. For converse, we are taking example. Consider the sequence an equal to minus 1 raised to power n minus 1. The sequence is 1 minus 1, 1 minus 1, so on. An is between minus 1 to 1 for all n. Thus, the sequence is bounded, but this is not convergent. Note, from the above theorem, we conclude that boundedness is a necessary condition for the convergence of a sequence. If a sequence is not bounded, then it cannot be convergent. Now, next result. A sequence an is convergent if given epsilon greater than 0, there exists a positive integer m such that an minus am mod value will be less than epsilon whenever n is greater than equal to m. Suppose that sequence an converges to L. Therefore, for given epsilon greater than 0, there exists a positive integer m such that an minus L mod value less than epsilon by 2 for all n greater than equal to m. This implies that am minus L mod value is also less than by epsilon by 2, marking this as number 1. Now, an minus am mod value, if we consider, we can write an minus L plus L minus am mod value, and this becomes an identity an minus L mod value plus modulus of L minus am. This is equal to an minus L plus am minus L. Using above becomes less than epsilon by 2 plus epsilon by 2 for all n greater than equal to m. Therefore, an minus am mod value becomes less than epsilon. Thus, the sequence an is convergent if an minus am का mod value जो है less than epsilon whenever n is greater than equal to m. Now, the next definition for divergent sequence. A sequence an is said to diverge to plus infinity if for each positive number k, however large it may be, there exists a positive integer m depending on k such that an is greater than k for all n greater than equal to m. In symbols, limit applying on n tends to infinity is equal to infinity. Second one, a sequence an is said to diverge to minus infinity if to each negative number k, however small it may be, there exists a positive integer m depending on that small k such that an is less than k for all n greater than equal to m. Equivalently, a sequence an is said to diverge to minus infinity if to each positive number k, however large it may be, there exists a positive integer m depending on k such that an is less than negative of k for all n greater than equal to m. In symbols, limit when apply on an when n tends to infinity equal to minus infinity. A sequence which either diverges to infinity or minus infinity is said to a divergent sequence. Now, making illustrations, the following sequences diverges to plus infinity 3, 6. First example 3, 6, 9, 3 and so on. Second one 2, 2 square, 2, 3, 2 power and so on. N square. This is divergent to plus infinity. And diverges to minus infinity as minus 3, minus 6, minus 9, minus 3n. Second one is minus 2 square, minus 2 power 3, minus 2 raised to power n, minus n square. Now, the next definition for oscillatory sequence. A sequence an is said to be oscillatory if it is neither convergent nor divergent. A sequence an is said to be oscillating finitely if it is bounded and oscillatory. A sequence an is said to be oscillating infinitely if it is unbounded and oscillatory. Making illustration of these definitions, the sequence minus 1 raised to power n into n is an infinitely oscillatory sequence. Therefore, first term is minus 1, second term is 2, third is minus 3, fourth is 4, fifth is minus 5, sixth is 6, seventh is minus 7, eighth is 8 and so on. For each k greater than 0, we can find 2m belongs to n such that an is greater than k when n is equal to 2m, 2m plus 2, 2m plus 4, so on. And an is less than k when n is 2m plus 1, 2m plus 3, 2m plus 5. Sequence an is unbounded above but does not diverge to plus infinity, marking this as number 1. Also, for each k less than 0, we can find 2p plus 1 belongs to n such that an is less than k when n is 2p plus 1, 2p plus 3, 2p plus 5, and an is greater than k when n is 2p plus 2, 2p plus 4, 2p plus 6. This implies sequence an is unbounded below but does not diverge to minus infinity. From first and second, we conclude that sequence an is infinitely oscillating sequence. Second one, the sequence minus 1 raised to power n is a finitely oscillating sequence, as its terms are: first term is minus 1, second 1, third is minus 1, fourth is 1, fifth is minus 1, sixth is 1, seventh is minus 1, eighth is 1. But range is 1 minus 1. As range of the sequence is bounded, so the sequence is bounded. But limiting value of a 2n when n tends to infinity is 1, 2n plus 1 limiting value is minus 1. Sequence an is not convergent, but it is a finitely oscillating sequence. Now, next theorem, if a sequence an divergent to infinity, then an is bounded below but unbounded above. If a sequence an diverges to minus infinity, then an is unbounded below but bounded above. For the proof first, since the sequence an diverges to infinity, therefore every positive number k, however large it may be, we can find a positive integer m such that an is greater than k for all n greater than equal to m. This shows that sequence an is unbounded above. Let t equal to minimum of a1, a2, am minus 1k. Therefore, an is becomes greater than equal to t for all n, which shows that sequence an is bounded below. Similarly, we can prove the second result. Now, the next definition, null sequence. A sequence an is said to be null sequence if an converges to 0. For example, 1 by n square, 1 by 2n are all null sequences. A sequence an is null sequence if and only if mod of an is a null sequence. An be a null sequence. For the proof, it means limiting value will be 0. Using the definition here, for a given epsilon greater than 0, there exists a positive integer m such that an minus 0 का mode value less than epsilon for all n greater than equal to m. Mode of an is less than epsilon. Mode of an minus 0, again mode less than epsilon. Sequence mode of an converges to 0 and hence this is a null sequence. Now the converse part, let the sequence mode of an be a null sequence, therefore absolute value will be 0. For a given epsilon greater than 0, there exists a positive integer m1 such that mode of an minus 0 absolute value will be less than epsilon for all n greater than equal to m1. Therefore an mode is less than epsilon for all n greater than equal to m1. An minus 0 mode less than epsilon for all n greater than equal to m. Sequence an converges to 0 and hence an is a null sequence. Next result, if bn is a null sequence and an is mode value less than equal to mode value of bn for all n, then an converges to 0. Since bn is a null sequence, therefore this converges to 0, and using definition here, mode of bn is less than epsilon for all n greater than equal to m. But mode of an is less than equal to mode of bn for all n, therefore an mode is less than epsilon for all n greater than equal to m. An minus 0 mode value is less than epsilon for all n greater than equal to m. Sequence an converges to 0. Now taking some examples, list the first 5 terms of the sequence. As for first example, that is, we have an is given as 1 plus minus 1 की power n, putting n equal to 1 2 3 4 so on. We have a1 is 0, a2 is 2, a3 is 0, a4 is 2, a5 is 0, so n sequence becomes 0 2 0 2 0 so on. Similarly, we can write down next problems. Write the nth term of the following sequence. Taking first example, as the pattern of the sequence is 1 4 9 16, first term is 1 square, second is 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, it means nth term will be n square. Similarly, we can draw different examples. Now discuss the boundedness of the following sequence a n, where n is given by. We are discussing second part, that is, here an is 2n plus 3 by 3n plus 4. We can write down this as 3n plus 4 minus n plus 1 by 3n plus 1, writing 1 minus n plus 1 by 3n plus 4. It means this term shows that the value of an cannot be greater than 1. Therefore an is between 0 and 1. Hence sequence an is bounded sequence. Similarly, we can draw different examples. Now by definition, show that the sequence 1 by n square converges to 0. As an is 1 by n square, let epsilon is greater than 0 be given number. An is 1 by n square minus 0, 1 by n square, positive number. It means this condition holds when 1 by n square is less than epsilon. It means n square is greater than 1 by epsilon, n is greater than 1 by epsilon. Hence this sequence holds for all n greater than equal to m, where m is a positive integer which is greater than 1 by square root of epsilon. an minus 0 का mode value less than epsilon for all n greater than equal to m. Therefore this implies an converges to 0. Similarly, we can draw different examples. Now taking next problem, give an example of sequence which is bounded and oscillating finitely. Taking example, that is minus 1 raised to power n plus 1. This is bounded, this is between 0 and 2, and this is oscillatory as terms is again and again 0 and 2. Show that the sequence an, where an is defined as x raised to power n, converges to 0 if mode x is less than 1. Let x is equal to 1 by 1 plus h, where h is greater than 0. Therefore mode x is less than 1. 1 plus h raised to power n can be written as by binomial theorem. That is, this value will be greater than equal to 1 plus nh. Therefore, making reciprocal, we have 1 by 1 plus h raised to power n is less than equal to 1 by 1 plus nh. Now, an minus 0 का mode value equal to x raised to power n mode value. This is less than by this one. Let epsilon greater than 0 be given number. Therefore, an minus 0 mode value less than epsilon if 1 by 1 plus nh is less than epsilon, or if 1 plus nh is greater than 1 by epsilon, or if n is greater than 1 by epsilon minus 1 by h. Let m be a least positive integer which is greater than 1 by epsilon minus 1 by h. Therefore, sequence an converges to 0. Dear students, try 2.1, and if you have any problem then discuss with me. Thank you.